what you do throughout the day is your inspiration. How are you inspiring yourself day after day after day? What is that equation? Right? The equation from which you hope to derive a solution to your problem. What's your inspiration? Hey, this is Adam Biek from A.J.B Counseling and Psychotherapy. This video is kind of like a public service announcement. It applies to anyone going through a hard time, depression, anxiety, doesn't matter. Whatever you're going through, this tip applies. You know, something that we do when we fall in hard times, we all do this, is we fall into the same patterns, right? Part of the reason is it's kind of like a survival thing that we do. And you can even see this in boxing. So if you watch boxing or any kind of fighting sport, UFC, you'll see the same thing. Whenever one of the fighters gets frazzled, maybe angry or scared, they become predictable, right? I forget how commentators usually refer to this. I think they say something like throwing him off his game or something like that. You also see this if you play any competitive sport, you'll see this too. So I see it in ping pong, right? I like to play ping pong, and I'll notice that if my opponent is consistently scoring against me, that means that I am repetitive. I'm doing something that's consistently predictable. Maybe I'm frazzled. You know what I do then? When it's my turn to serve, I take my time. I waste time. I wait. Right before I serve, I say no, stop. So like I'm about to throw the ball up and I'm about to hit. I do that and I stop. I bring my hands down and I look at my opponent. I'm trying to throw my opponent off the game, and I'm trying to change the pattern that I'm exhibiting. And this actually works. This actually works. So the title of this video is going to be Break Up the Monotony. That's really what the point I'm trying to get across to you is. Break up the monotony. When we get frazzled, when we get tense, we fall into the same patterns. We have to change the patterns. There's two reasons for why we have to change the patterns. The first reason is the most obvious one. When you are depressed or anxious, whatever it is, and you repeat the same patterns every single day. So, for example, every morning I get up and I go grab a can of soda and I go read the news, and then I watch some TV show that I like maybe, and then I go to work, and then after work I grab the same lunch from the same place, and it's probably the same thing. And then, you know what I mean? And then I come home and I don't know, whatever, you know what I'm trying to get at. Everything's the same day after day. That makes everything in your life associated with your problem. Believe it or not, even in small, tiny ways, well, let's say you're stressed out, or really stressed out. In small, tiny ways, when every single morning you wake up stressed out and you grab can of soda, the action of grabbing that can of soda is now associated with that stress level or the depression, right? So by maintaining the same pattern, you're actually inadvertently maintaining the depression. So that's one very direct way that breaking up the monotony is going to help you. Now, I don't think I covered what I mean by breaking up the monotony. I mean, if every weekend, Saturday and Sunday, you just stay at home and do nothing, or maybe you hang out with the same friends doing the same thing, and you feel crappy, do something different. Go to the beach. Man, after work, go to the beach. You know, you might say to yourself, oh, but I'm going to be tired and this. By the way, it's very hard to break out of a routine because we have a reason. There's a reason why we have the routine. It keeps us somewhat comfortable. So kind of like the devil you know, right? The devil you know is better than one that you don't. So we'll make excuses why we're not going to do this or that. So when I'm suggesting to you right now, after work, go to the beach. It's going to be late at night, yeah? but break up the monotony. Don't go home and then sit out in front of the TV or sit in front of the computer and just and read news or whatever it is that you do at night. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's already associated with all that garbage that you're going through anyway. Go to the beach. Go to the park. Go dancing. Go to the movies. Try something. Break out of the same thing that you do. Invite your friends randomly to do something. That's going to break you out of that same cycle, that same routine that's refeeding how you feel. Now, there's a second reason why breaking out of the monotony, breaking up the monotony is helpful. The second reason has to do with problem solving. So, you can think of your routine as the equation to a solution, right? So whatever you're going through it probably because something needs to be figured out. Something wasn't figured out. Maybe you haven't figured out how to overcome your depression. Maybe you haven't figured out how to overcome your loneliness. Maybe you haven't figured out how to overcome your anxiety, your social anxiety, whatever, your panic attacks, right? What you do throughout the day is your inspiration. How are you inspiring yourself day after day after day? What is that equation? Right? The equation from which you hope to derive a solution to your problem. What's your inspiration? Inspiration is that equation. What you do every day makes up that equation. And on the other side of the equation, the equal signs, on the other side of the equal signs, is the answer that you hope to get to your problem. If you're expecting a better answer to come from the same equation, it's foolish, right? It's like that saying. Expecting, well, how does it go again? The definition of insanity is is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. That's what it is. So, and I'm not saying it's impossible because there's always variance in your day-to-day life, even when you have the same routine. So the equation does change slightly, but it doesn't change by much. So it might take you a long time before you get at your answer. So by suddenly throwing in a huge new variable into the equation, by massively changing your routine, breaking up the monotony, going out there, doing something different, doing something that you felt uncomfortable doing but you think might feel good in the long run, that might give you that just the right amount of inspiration. It might change the equation just enough to inspire you, to give you the answer that you've been looking for. So that's what I really wanted to cover in this video. I think that covers everything I wanted to say. I hope you found this useful, and I hope that you will break up the monotony. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you're going through. Let's see if we can inspire each other, help each other out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share this content, and I will see you in the next video.